Section 8, sign light strip. We're going to do this in a long run here. It won't take all that long. One of the 5 strips you got in your kit is longer than the other 4. So I grabbed that one, and that is going to be for the sign light. It's going to go wrapped around inside the top of the box. You also want to grab a couple of the pre-pinned leads, long leads, dark and a light, and cut that down to 15 inches. And then we're going to strip, as we always do, we're going to strip, flux, twist, and tin. You want to make sure you get about 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, so it fits on these long pads. I've changed how I do the kits from the start so that you have the whole pad to solder to, which means when the light is lit, just the very end of this cob portion will not be lit. But that's okay. It won't be noticed once the signs are on there, so don't let that deter you. And I've already sized my stripper, my mechanical stripper, not the human one. Only if only. All right. Okay, we're twisting those and gonna get that iron fired up and dip these leads into the paste as usual. So we've fluxed the leads after we've stripped them. Iron's up to temp. Just going to add some solder onto it and tin the end of the leads. There we go. That's looking good. Get a little more solder. I know it's all going to look blurry on video. Sorry. I'm also going to get some paste, a little bit of flux onto the pads I'm soldering to. It doesn't matter which end. There should be full pads on both ends of the light strips that you get. You do want to pay attention to which side says 5 volts and which side says ground. That's kind of really important at this point if you want things to work. So I'm going to get some more solder. I've already fluxed the pads and get some solder on the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to place this in the holder. There's no sense trying to do this by hand. You want to get a good solder on here, so there we go. Now you see the lead, let me zoom in there. The lead about covers most of that pad. Heck, I might leave this zoomed in. The lead covers most of that pad, so we've got a good long connection. And I'm going to take the solder and just remember we want to warm the pad as well as the lead so that the solder will spread to everything. You want to be careful not to damage the cob, the yellow cob material. So just try to stay a little clear of that. I hold my iron to the outside, so I have the lead in between the cob material and the tip of the iron. And you see that's a pretty darn good weld. Yeah, that'll do. And then we're going to get the other lead in there. There we go. Yeah. Get right over the pad. Actually, I think I'm going to bend it down a little bit. I want it laying along the pad and not sticking up a little bit. So there we go. Get a little bit of solder on the tip to facilitate that heat transfer. I'm holding it kind of against the pad and then let everything melt and take it away. Yeah, that's a good solder. It's good to have the solder along the whole pad instead of just part of it. That way you know it's not a cold solder. And leads are nice and ready for the next step. I see in the guide I have there that you can do a little function test. It's kind of neat to see something light up in any case. So I've got the battery box that we did earlier. So notice the housing is still not on the ends of those pinned leads. So I'm just going to turn that box on and touch light to light and dark to dark. You notice I am using the short leads. These are, I'm not planning on installing this particular light in the box. Oop, I don't know if you saw that there. There we go. Once you get a good connection, you can see the whole light strip lights up. I've just used this portion as an example right now. I'm not going to be putting a full sign light strip into that box that I hate. So I'm going to rig up another strip that light strip that I don't like, and put some leads on there, same as you've got, and then do the sample install into the box next. The next step is applying the sign lights. As you see here, I've applied the red heat shrink to the ends, the pre-pinned ends of that light wire that we just applied. I've got the same length of wire. I'm using a sacrificial light strip that I don't like. It was a sample sent by the manufacturer, and I was like, no, because I don't want to put this as a, I'm going to put this as a permanent installation, but I'm sacrificing this strip. So as you see, everything's soldered as it was before. The light strip's the same length as yours, and now the wiring is the same length. Here is the box I don't like. As you see, we've still got the adapter in there from when we did the 4 pogo pin connector, or the pogo connector with the 4 pins. With that facing towards you on the right, we're now looking down on the top of the box, and on the left side from where we're looking, you'll see the sign light channel. Inside the corner post of this light channel, there is a drop down hole. The drop down hole connects with that cutout channel you see right in here. I'm confident that will not show up on camera. There we go. So the drop down handle cutout drops down into that hole, which then goes down into the rest of the box. So our goal is to finagle the end, that heat shrink end, down into that hole, and as you see, it kind of went down in there. And if you look up in here, I keep on pushing and it's going down in that hole. Now, yours may want to come out of this channel at the bottom of the windows there. Just tap it back in and make sure it goes in. So now I'm leading through all the way to the bottom of the box. And as you see right there, it's come out just like when we did the other wires. So I'm just going to want to pull it out. Yeah, that little pick didn't do that much good. So I'm going to pull this out of the channel like that, and then keep on running it. As you see, I'm running it now until the sign light strip is right into that channel there. I want to see if that works, lines up right and well. And basically the next part is going to be the fun part. We're going to be pulling back the backing of the tape, the adhesive material from the strip, and stripping it out as we press the light strip into this channel. The channel is only 9 millimeters high, and the strip you got is 8 millimeters wide. So it's going to be a snug fit, and you want to make sure you press it into the back flat portion of the channel. Let me grab my tweezers and see if this will show on camera. See, there's the blue backing on this one. I think yours might be white backing. Just kind of get it started. Get hands out of the way. There we go. Now we've got it started. So we're going to press it back in there and press that light strip all the way to the corner there, and just press it in. There's a little backing that's already removed. We press it into that channel. And now we're going to slowly pull off some more backing and keep this sliding along, and pull off a little more backing while we keep this sign light strip pressed into the channel. You see, this is good adhesive. It holds really well, but you want to press it nice and flat as you go. And now here comes the first challenge. Once you get the hang of it this time, you'll have it for the rest of the corners. What we want to do is lead. You can use your tweezers, and you want to get this blue tape pulled through, snug through that first corner post. And as you see, now that is through the corner post. Give a little bit of a grip through the corner post like that. Now you look at the first side there. So now as we pull off some more strip, we can still keep scooching it along. And here's the other step you don't want to miss. After the tape is through that corner post, slide in, make sure the strip is flat, it's not twisted. Slide the end of the strip through the corner post. There we go. So you see now the strip and the backing from it is through the corner post. And we're going to slide some more strip through, like so, until it starts getting a little snug. And see, now we can pull the strip through like that, and it's flat. And now we can finish pulling off some more blue strip, which will expose the adhesive backing on the strip. And we come through, and we pull some more of that strip, and you see, easy peasy. Now we want to make sure that the strip keeps laying flat, so you want to keep pressing it in there as you go. Make sure it doesn't try to go off center from that flat area, and pull the stripping back and keep pressing it. And now we're just going to do that next trick for the that same trick for the next corner post. Get my hands out of the way here. I'm going to slide that tape through. I might have to cut some of this out just because it's probably ugly and not helping you. There. You slide it through the corner, grab it from the other side, and now we've got the backing. And then we're going to pull the, make sure the strip is not twisted, and then push that through. It's okay if the backing is twisted, just not the strip. And pull the strip through, and it looks something like that. And keep pulling the strip. You wanted to start doing this before you get too close to the end, so you don't end up pinching and pinching the light strip together at too sharp an angle, or you might damage it. So there we go, it's through, and now we'll continue pulling the tape backing. There. And go through to the next corner. And pull some backing. Now you can see, pull a little bit of backing off, so some of the strip is exposed on the back there. Adhesive is exposed, and then we're going to press it in and make sure we keep it flat along the way. And I'm going to cut off some of this backing material because it's getting a little unwieldy. So I cut it a little bit shorter so it's still easier to work with, and then I'm going to snug it through that last pillar until we see it coming out the other side, like that. And then we're going to get the strip going through there. And coming out the other side, pull it down. Now it's nice and flat, and now we're ready to continue pulling the adhesive and pressing the strip flat as we go. So there. And keep pulling a little adhesive. And everything is rocking and rolling. Now we're at the end of the strip here. You may find that the end of your strip goes beyond that last corner post. If you look here, this is where we started, and we're now at the opposite side of that corner coming into it. So in this strip, I cut them a little bit long because I wanted those full pads, but that does end up sometimes with the strip being a little long. So one thing you can do is you can just tuck, you can pull that material in there through the last corner post and then tuck the end of the strip in. In this case, it's a little bit too long. So I'm just going to cut the strip just so it'll be just stuck inside the corner post when I'm done. So now I'm just going to remove the rest of the adhesive like that, and then carefully slide that in there, and then just use some tweezers to carefully bend and slip the end of the wire of the strip into that channel. There. Well, nice, all and good. There's the end of the strip, can't even see it, and there's the start of the strip. You can even get this, in fact, you probably want to make sure that when you start, you get this a little bit pushed in there, a little bit closer to the corner of the post. Yes, it'll bend the leads a little bit, but it's the only time they're going to experience wear. After this, there's no more stress on those leads and the weld. But you do want it a little bit closer than I got right there. So, next step, we'll just power this up and see how it looks in situ. So I've gotten out the battery box that we used for the project. I have some jumpers holding the ends of those leads to the wires. I've took off the heat shrink from the end of the sign light wires, and I've connected those up with jumpers, and we'll turn it on. There we go. Looks good. And you see it's lit because you got, my particular one was already cut on a cut line, proper cut line. Yours will likely be just a slightly bit dead on the end, on the very end, which is why you want to scooch it in more. As you can see, we have the sign light channels lit all the way around. In fact, I think I'm going to pull out a sign so you can see what it looks like when the sign is applied on there. So give a little incentive. So I've pulled out the sign and frame that I have from another build. Here's the label for the top sign that you got in your package, and you see it's trimmed. You want to trim it so that there's about no white showing along all the border of the black. And here's the sign frame. The backing didn't come with it, so I will be right back. So I've placed the sign in the outer sign frame, and now I'm going to press this backing, the inner sign frame, into it so it holds that label in place. And now we're going to slide it in. As per the build guide, later on you'll see, I have the instructions set to line up the tops of the sign frames with the top posts of the box here. We're going to press it in like that and slide it down. There's a little ledge there to catch it. And now we'll turn on the sign. And maybe turn off the light so you can see that. Hope that comes through better. And maybe one more light. I'll turn off all the lighting here. So it's a little more impressive. There we go. Got some daylight coming in from the window right behind here. So there you go. So the signs are backlit with that sign light in there. You can see the difference. I'm still coming up with trying to find a better process. It's going to be different material. It's going to have to be professionally manufactured to do the sign light better than it is here. But as you see, I've tried to get I've tried to replicate the functions, the font and the sizing and such, while still have it be a good look. And that is it for the sign light. At this point, you can go ahead and put the female housing connector on those pins, because we are done and it's tested.